He is one of the all-time point guard greats in Europe. In his final NBA season, he averaged more assists than Nikola Jokic and Tony Parker. You might not even remember that this guy played 5 years and over 350 games in the NBA. So let me refresh your memory, because this is the story of Sergio Rodriguez, aka El Chacho. Much like with any other European prospect, Rodriguez was playing professional basketball long before he ever got close to the NBA. Having come up through the ranks of Spanish side Estudiantes, Rodriguez made his debut for the team in 2003. While performances in Europe do catch the attention of NBA scouts, it was Rodriguez's international work that got the attention of the league. He played at the Nike Hoop Summit in 2004, showcasing his talents against some of the best high school basketball players in the US, including J.R. Smith, Al Jefferson and Rudy Gay. 2 years later, the 20-year-old Rodriguez helped Spain win the FIBA World Championship, and he was selected 27th overall by the Phoenix Suns, who then traded him to the Portland Trail Blazers. But it was not smooth sailing for the Spaniard, as he was struggling to get minutes behind Jarrett Jack or Steve Blake. The issue in his first spell in the NBA was that he did not fit the system of then head coach Nate McMillan. Rodriguez was too wasteful, averaging more than 3 turnovers per 36 minutes across his entire NBA career. And it's not like the Portland didn't give him a chance. He was there for 3 seasons before being traded to the Sacramento Kings in the summer of 2009, and after a few months in California, Rodriguez had to pack his bags again as he was sent to the New York Knicks. After 27 games with the Knicks, Rodriguez chose to return to Spain and rebuild his career with Real Madrid. Let me know in the comments whether more players should make this step back in today's NBA. Now, Rodriguez deserves a lot of praise not to fall victim to a failed NBA career. Although his first seasons with Madrid were slow, El Chacho picked up the pace. He was named the EuroLeague's MVP in 2014 and won the league with Madrid the following season. His turnaround was impressive enough that in 2016, Rodriguez got his second opportunity in the NBA. It seemed like the perfect timing for the Spaniard, as he was going into the league with a huge amount of experience and plenty of accolades to show that he was a force to be reckoned with. In his first spell, many people believed that making the jump to the NBA was too early for El Chacho. This time, he was going to the NBA as a champion, as well as going to a team where it looked like there was an opportunity for Rodriguez to start from day one. So things should have gone perfectly for Rodriguez with the Philadelphia 76ers. By giving Rodriguez a 1-year deal worth $8 million, the Sixers made him a stopgap option at the point guard position to feed Joel Embiid and add experience and depth in the backcourt. Rodriguez had a pretty difficult test in his Philly debut, facing off against Russell Westbrook and a Thunder team still reeling from the loss of Kevin Durant in the summer. It was an impressive debut though for Rodriguez, as he controlled the offense well with 9 assists and a +8 in plus-minus. That form continued, with Rodriguez having 4 games in a row at the start of the season with double-digit points. At home against the Orlando Magic, El Chacho hit his first NBA double-double with 12 points and 11 assists. He began the season getting around 30 minutes per game with Philly, but the team started off by losing 7 games in a row. As a scorer, Rodriguez started to struggle and saw his minutes start to diminish. The Spaniard went 7 games without getting to double digits in points, and his minutes varied massively from game to game. By December, it was clear that the 76ers' decision to sign Rodriguez was not as fruitful as expected. Towards the end of the year, Rodriguez had 3 games where he did not rest up due to a sprained ankle, and when he returned to the team, Rodriguez was coming off the bench, unable to get his minutes back. In all of January and February, he played more than 22 minutes only in 2 games. His stats took a big tanking, and while his minutes increased slightly in March, Rodriguez suffered an injury. A hamstring strain followed by an knee injury meant that the Spaniard missed the final 9 games of the season, as the Sixers finished with the second worst record in the Eastern Conference. The hope was that Rodriguez would be a very good stopgap for the Sixers before they drafted the point guard of the future. But before the end of the season, rumors were already circulating that Rodriguez had played his final game as a Sixer. Considering Philadelphia gave Rodriguez a contract worth $8 million when he returned to the NBA, it was a slight surprise that he didn't last more than a season with Philly. If you take a look back at the Sixers off-season in 2017, it makes a lot more sense as to why Rodriguez didn't stay around with the Sixers. For one thing, it was pretty clear that Ben Simmons was a great option at point guard moving forward. Jared Bayless had developed into a backup for the Sixers and replaced Rodriguez. That would have surely annoyed the European, as it was Bayless who took the Spaniards' minutes in Portland in his first stint in the league. There might have been space on the roster for Rodriguez to stay with the team, but he was outperformed by TJ McConnell in the final months of the season. So, there was already a very good chance that Philly was not going to re-sign Rodriguez, something that was made certain by a draft pick move. When Philly got the first overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft, there was always a good chance that they were going for Washington point guard Markelle Fultz. Fultz was one of the most exciting players in college basketball and looked like an excellent all-around prospect coming into the league. While we know that the Sixers draft pick has not worked out long-term, there was no way that Rodriguez was going to be re-signed. There simply was no space with the Sixers for Rodriguez to re-sign. Having started 30 games for the Sixers, you would think that there would have been at least a few offers on the table for the Spaniard heading into the 17-18 season. While there was no way he was going to start, Rodriguez looked like a solid rotation point guard for any team that needed a classical offensive orchestrator whose main mission was to find shooters and open guys. A man who got that much money from an NBA team should have gotten at least a few offers moving forward, right? Well, throughout the summer we did not hear much at all about teams wanting to sign El Chacho. In fact, it seemed like no teams wanted to sign the Spaniard. That didn't mean that Rodriguez's NBA dream was over, because he could have waited until the season started to sign with a team, as free agents get picked up all the time during the season. But in July, he signed a 2-year deal with CSKA Moscow, ending any chance of him remaining in the NBA. So, there must have been some parts of his game which didn't work in the league. Throughout his NBA career, Rodriguez lacked the thing which is crucial for bench players: efficiency. As well as giving the ball away a lot, he averaged just 40.9% from the field across his entire NBA career. His assist numbers weren't really high enough to make up for that either. I'm pretty sure that it's partly down to playing on some awful teams in Portland and Philadelphia in particular, but it seems like El Chacho was just not quite cut out for the NBA. When El Chacho's first NBA stint ended, he needed to rebuild his career. This time around, Rodriguez was already 31, an established EuroLeague star who had plethora of offers from Europe. While some European players have never regained their brilliance after returning from the NBA, Rodriguez has added 2 EuroLeague crowns to his tally, as the point guard played a big role in helping CSKA win the title in 2019 and Real Madrid in 2023. The styles of NBA and EuroLeague are different enough that not everybody can excel in both leagues, like Bojan and Bogdan Bogdanovic. But that doesn't mean that Sergio Rodriguez is a bad basketball player. Because how could you say it about someone who has won EuroLeague 3 times and is a world and European champion?
Rodriguez up and under, banks it in, Knicks within 4.
Rodriguez made that look easy.